Apparently, Mauricio Pochettino was approached. Look, every businessman, they always have a contingency plan. Now, whether it happens or not, that's a different discussion. But Mauricio Pochettino, interesting. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. 3 bits of news that I want to go through. There's a lot of stuff that's been floating around, but some of it seems to be regurgitation. Some of it's the same thing, just painted with a different brush. But 3 bits of news that I want to go through starts from this particular news over here. Apparently, Mauricio Pochettino turns down Chelsea approach to replace Graham Potter. Chelsea showed interest late last week, and the former Spurs man was targeted, but he was not keen. He's rejected Chelsea, apparently. Chelsea won't remove Potter without a plan. This is from Graham Bailey. Now, look, a lot of people rate Graham Bailey. Me personally, I'm not too sure whether he gets things right, but as I said, there's a lot of top news Twitter accounts, publications, they tend to quote him. And, Simon Phillips, he doesn't just go around, quoting on anyone and everyone out there. So, when he's putting this up there, that shows that maybe, just maybe, there might have been something on this particular news. Now, before I get into my opinion on Mauricio Pochettino, I think the thing that we need to understand here that, look, as much as our owners have recently come out and said that there's no way they're going to change things. They're going to back Graham Potter. They're going to die on this hill. And look, I understand their point, because financially they've screwed up. And at this moment, it seems like a bit of a loss-loss situation, lose-lose situation, because if they get rid of him, they're going to be a laughing stock, because we literally hired him about 6 months ago. And, they've been drumming up the beats that they're looking for long-term development. They're not looking to replicate what the previous owners did with chopping and changing every time there's some adversity. So I understand from that point of view, and obviously from a financial standpoint, there's a lot of money that's been outlaid, and there's a lot of money that you're going to have to give out to get rid of Graham Potter. So that's that side of things. But the other side of things is that you cannot sit here and say that they're completely comfortable, the owners. They're not. There has to be some part in their mind where they're thinking, if this goes belly up, and if it hasn't already, like 2 out of 15 is quite bad, but maybe for the time being, just because we're not actually in the relegation zone, and there is hope, I suppose, that we can turn this around. Maybe they're just thinking that, look, right now, might not be the bottom of the barrel. And this is probably why they've singled out the next 3 matches with Spurs, Leeds, and Dortmund. I think dropping points there, getting eliminated in the Champions League, that might be the bottom of the barrel. So somewhere in their mind, they're probably thinking about a contingency plan. They would have to, because if you notice the particular language that all these journalists are using, they're consistently saying the owners are hoping. They're not saying the owners know that Graham Potter can turn this around. When you use the word hope, it makes me realize that the owners, there is no logical explanation as to why they want to hold on to Graham Potter, because it's not like Graham Potter's got a history or, if you look back at his past, that he has turned things around at an elite club when things went south. There is no history. So you can't rely on that. There is some work that was done previously. There could be other managers, elite managers, that have turned things around, but definitely Graham Potter is not one of them. He's done well at Brighton, but he's never faced the kind of adversity that he's facing right now at Chelsea Football Club and the fan base. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to the Brighton fan base is not as huge as Chelsea fan base. Simple as that. So there has to be somewhere in the owner's mind where they're thinking about a contingency plan. They would have to be. They would be stupid if they didn't, because it could very well go from 2 out of 15 to 2 out of 16 to 2 out of 17 to 2 out of 18. It could very well go that way, because right now, what's there to say that Graham Potter is really going to turn things around? So that's that side of the story. Now, in regards to Maurizio Pochettino, look, do I think he's a good manager? I think he's done brilliantly. History suggests, similar to probably Graham Potter, he's done really well at Southampton. He was playing some lovely football there. Liverpool were stealing a lot of his players during that time frame. Then he went to Spurs. I think you would have to say in recent times, some of Spurs' best moments came from Mauricio Pochettino. Took them to a Champions League final, consistently were in top four, and they were banging out some really good players. You know, Dele Alli saw his best moments under Mauricio Pochettino, and since he left, Dele Alli collapsed. Harry Kane, the rise of Harry Kane started from Mauricio Pochettino, and there's been many more. However, it seems like Mauricio Pochettino, for me as well, seems like a bit of a serial bottler. It's great that you've been able to develop. It's great that you've been able to take a club to from a certain point X to a certain point, Y, whatever the case is. But you've not won anything. And even when he's gone to PSG with the caliber of players he had there, you've monumentally failed there as well. So I think from a project point of view, and this is why, I don't know, there could be some truth behind this, that Chelsea owners might have approached Mauricio Pochettino because it gives that project vibe. He can work with young players. He can develop, players from the academy. He ticks a lot of boxes for the new owners. He really does. However, I don't want another one of these managers that ticks a lot of boxes, but ultimately we're in the game of winning trophies. What's the ultimate aim? That you've got the ability to see a team through to win trophies. And I don't know if Mauricio Pochettino actually has that. Just feel like he's got the Spurs gene in him. So for me, look, there are other managers that I would definitely back right now. Hansi Flick being one of them. He's destroyed everything in Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. Now you can say, look, anyone can do that, but he's done it in Champions League as well. I think there's some stats that in a particular season in Bundesliga, Bayern Munich scored the most goals like in history, and that was under Hansi Flick. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he's got the mentality of doing things. I know he's bottled it for Germany, but overall, he's got the caliber. He knows how to win. Like, to win the Champions League, I don't think it's an easy feat at all. So Hansi Flick is a particular name that comes into my mind. I think with the attacking players that we have right now, I think Flick could do a fantastic job. And in recent times, we've seen him come into Chelsea matches. Other name is Luis Enrique. There's Zinedine Zidane. There's some names out there that have won some big stuff and that can command, respect in this particular team. I think that seems to be one of the issues. But in regards to Mauricio Pochettino, I'm not entirely sure about him. But ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you feel about Mauricio Pochettino. Would that be a good selection? Would that not be a good selection? Please, in the comment section, let me know. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Steinberg. And this is more about, Chelsea owners giving Graham Potter time. Chelsea to give Graham Potter time to build after spending heavily during January. And the expectation is that the former Brighton manager will be in charge at the start of next season. So look, our owners, as I said, in one eye, they would have a contingency plan. They would. They're business people. Business people, they think about all avenues, what can happen. That's how you become successful. Business people don't just have a blinkers on approach and just hope for the best. Like they think about a lot of stuff. If things go south, they have plans in motion. But at the moment, it seems like they're not willing to do anything. As I said, financially, it's going to cost a lot of money to get rid of Graham Potter. And on the other side, they'll be the biggest laughing stock. Articles will be thrown left, right, and center. Rivals will laugh, pundits will talk about them, and it will not look good on them. So they're concerned about the reputation, they're concerned about the brand, they're concerned about many things financially, as I said. So from that standpoint, they'll continue on. However, as much as they expect Graham Potter to stick around for next season, it all depends on results for the next upcoming matches. It will really, really test out the owners. These upcoming matches will 100% test the owners' limitations. Apparently, Todd Bowley is going to be there in the Spurs game. If we drop points or lose, I wonder how Todd Bowley is going to react to that. Then apparently Eghbali will be there in the Leeds game and Dortmund game. Leeds ain't going to be easy. They're battling in the relegation zone. And then Dortmund if you get knocked out. So look, as much as I admire and I really appreciate the resilience of the owners to hold on to Graham Potter, right now Graham Potter has to do the trick. He really does. I can't see it any other way. It has to be 3 wins. Even if he gets a win against Spurs and then follows it up with 2 losses with Leeds and Dortmund, I don't think that's good enough. And even if he gets a win against Spurs and a win against Leeds and gets knocked out by Dortmund, I still don't think that's good enough. Some people may say that's good enough for Premier League point of view, but to be knocked out by Dortmund when this Dortmund team is there to be taken, I don't think it's good enough. So for me, three W's, simple as that. Draws won't be good enough either. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know what your thoughts and feelings are in regards to Graham Potter getting that time till next season. Potentially the preseason and then the start of next season. But if he is around, you best believe next season will definitely be Judgment Day. Will definitely be Judgment Day for Graham Potter. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, breaking, N'Golo Kanté is close to handing Chelsea a huge boost by signing a new contract as he closes in on first team return. Chelsea are confident an agreement is now closed. So this was floating around a couple of months ago, ladies and gentlemen, that N'Golo Kanté will sign a new contract extension. Apparently, the contract extension will be similar to what he's on right now. So he's on a lot of money. He's going to continue being on a lot of money. And I think he might even get 3 years. So, look, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic that this player is staying. I love N'Golo Kanté. I think a fit N'Golo Kanté is a huge, huge game changer for us in midfield. Him and Enzo Fernandez, I think that would be a fantastic combination to see in the double pivot down the track if we do continue with the double pivot. But I can't help to think that is N'Golo Kanté past all his issues. In the last 3 seasons minimum, he's barely played that much football. His body is breaking down. And I remember Matisse a while back, I think he put the perfect analogy on him. He's like one of those cars that's just done a lot of mileage already. There's a lot of mileage in that body. And maybe it's just breaking down now. However, he's been away from Chelsea Football Club for a very long time to recover from this. So it could potentially mean that he might just get over all the issues. And I hope he does. Because we're about to give him a contract extension. I think it will be absolutely sad if this contract extension is wasted on him being in the medical room for most parts of this contract. A fit Kanté, as I said, definitely changes the spectrum for us. I don't know when he is destined to come back. There was rumors that he was going to come back at the end of this month, but back in training. By the time he gets to start for Chelsea, I think it might be somewhere around March, maybe middle of March, maybe end of March. And then we'll see. We'll see if his body holds on and if he's able to carry on for Chelsea Football Club. Look, if he's fit, I think that would be, that could be correlated with some wins. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you felt about everything that we've talked about in regards to Pochettino, in regards to Graham Potter, perhaps getting till next season, and N'Golo Kanté as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for a live tomorrow. I know I missed out on a live earlier today. I was feeling very tired and exhausted, so went to bed, but hoping to be back tomorrow with a live stream and talking about all things Chelsea. Until then, take care. See ya.